Have you ever ridden a horse out on the trail who was very determined to only be in one position? He wanted to be in the front, or maybe he didn't want to be in the front, he wanted to be behind another horse, or perhaps he didn't like when other horses passed him, or you tried to ask him to go out in front, he didn't want to pass other horses. We've all had horses or experienced this where out on trail rides, they're sure where their place is, or they're just unconfident and they don't want to go in other positions. As I've been learning and riding distance horses in southern Mexico, I've been riding with accomplished endurance rider Mary Jane. And Mary Jane has taught me some really great games that she uses for her horses to teach them to be comfortable in any position, whether out in front leading the way, back behind, in the middle, and also with having horses pass them and with them passing other horses too. These are really key skills for endurance horses, but for many trail riders, we never bother to teach our horses these things. And we end up having horses that can get stuck just in one position. What I want to do is share the 3 games that we use most often. These are really simple. You can start to play these with your horse and just one other rider, or you can do these with bigger groups as well. So I'm going to show you here on this whiteboard how you can get started with these. So the first one, I'm going to draw our little horses and riders here just as little dots. So the first one is really simple. It's basically like a leapfrog. So the horse in the back comes out and passes the other 2 and goes to the front. You can do this either just within the same gait. So for example, if everyone's walking, these 2 just slow their horse's walk a little bit and this horse speeds up his walk to go out in front. You can also do this where the horse passing goes up into the next gait. For example, these are walking and this horse goes up into trot to pass. Or everybody's trotting and this horse goes up into canter to pass. The other really fun game, I'm going to draw my 3 little dots again. And this one is a little trickier, but it depends on the horse because each horse will kind of have their, like some horses are okay passing, but then they don't like this one so much. So in this game, the horse in the front is actually going to turn, circle back, and come to the end. So this is really good because these horses have to keep going forward as this one goes back. This horse is now having to be lead horse, and this horse is having to walk past all of the others, go a few steps beyond, and then turn around and keep following. So this is a really fun one. This one, best done at walk. You can pick up the pace if you're with other skilled riders, but since you're coming back past them the other way, start at walk until you're really comfortable. Okay, finally, the third one that I want to share. Got our 3 little horses here again. Should give them some little ears or something, but then my dots will probably look more like insects than horses. So these are our 3 horses. This is a little bit of synchronized riding. So now in this one, we have a leader that calls it out, and then all 3 riders make a circle the same time. This is really good for being out on the trail. I find that we do this a lot in the warm-up because it helps to just start suppling the horse to each side as you're heading out. And also it's good for the horses because they get to see all the horses are moving at one time. So it's not just riding straight down, but you're starting to move, use your space. With all of these, we'll switch. So for example, if we're heading down a dirt lane or a wide trail, maybe the edge of a field, we'll start with a line of horses on the left and we're passing to the right, and then we'll switch. Or here, we'll make these first turning to the right, and then we'll also go out and make them turning to the left. There are so many exercises that can be done through these patterns, and they're a ton of fun. You can just keep advancing them as you, your horse, and the group that you're riding with all become more confident. These can also be done really at any gait, but stick with walk until you and your horse are feeling really confident, comfortable, and always remember on a trail ride, and especially doing any kind of games like this, to ride to the level of the lowest rider. And that means that the person with the least amount of skill, everyone should ride to their level. It is quite dangerous and quite inconsiderate to have a new rider out on a trail and everyone else takes off cantering, or everyone else is doing all these trotting synchronized things, and that poor person is left barely hanging on, and it can end up endangering the whole group. So anytime you're riding, keep in mind with a group, whoever has the lowest skill level, everyone just rides to that level, and then everyone can be safe, have a great time, and get the benefit of riding some really fun games out on the trail with your horse. If you're interested in more like this, I cover a few more games as well as information on trail riding and just the basic foundation of great riding and great communication with your horse in my balanced riding course. Also, I have many exercises for riding in the arena that really help the skills that you take out to the trail in my book, Stay in the Saddle, 67 Exercises for Horse and Rider. You can get more information down below, and now I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below and just let us know what is one challenge that you've had with your horse on a trail ride. If you are watching this anywhere besides horseclass.com, that's the best place to go to leave your comments and to browse many other resources as well as get information about what we teach here at Horse Class. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.